The new fusion in the Dragon Ball franchise is coming, and it's being brought to us by Dragon Ball Daima. This has already been officially confirmed, and there's no doubt about it. However, a fusion between Goku and Vegeta now won't be the same as what we saw in Dragon Ball Z, since a new power has been confirmed in the Dragon Ball Daima storyline, which could completely change the next fusion between Goku and Vegeta. I'm going to share with you all the official information we have so far about the new fusion, and I'll also talk about some things I think might happen. Stay connected in the channel and let's go to the video. So far, as we've seen, the biggest challenges that Goku and his friends face in the Demon Realm are Majin Buu and Majin Buu. But are these two really going to pose a serious challenge to Goku and Vegeta? Well, as for Majin Buu, he obviously won't be a significant challenge. From what we've seen, Majin Buu couldn't even make Tamagami number 1 break a sweat. To be fair to him, Tamagami number 1 is really powerful, likely with a power level close to that of a Super Saiyan 3. So, since Majin Buu was able to hold his own against Tamagami number 1 for a while and even surprised him at times, I'd estimate that Majin Buu has a power level equivalent to a Super Saiyan 1, or at most a Super Saiyan 2. In other words, Majin Buu is no challenge for Goku and Vegeta. They'd easily defeat him. But Majin Buu is different. He managed to defeat Tamagami number 1 despite not really knowing how to fight properly, which means his power is roughly on the level of a Super Saiyan 3. That's about the power level Fat Majin Buu had before his power was split. Even so, I don't think Majin Buu could defeat either Goku or Vegeta, and even if he could beat one of them, he wouldn't be able to take on both of them one after the other. In other words, Majin Buu is not the final villain of this anime, and honestly, I don't even need to deduce this, since leaked information has already shown us that the final villain of Dragon Ball Daima is another character. Who will this character be? We're not entirely sure yet because Dragon Ball Daima's story is structured in a way that anyone could become the final villain. For example, any villain, no matter how weak, could become extremely powerful through the evil third eye or the Dragon Balls. So, at any moment, the game could be turned upside down. Even after a character gains power, they could lose it just as quickly, with that power transferring to someone else, since the evil third eye can be lost, as we've already seen happen in the past. If Majin Buu and Majin Buu aren't the final villains, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that the main villain will be stronger than they are, right? So, if Buu already has power close to that of a Super Saiyan 3, the power of this final villain must surpass that. This means neither Goku nor Vegeta will be able to defeat them individually. To match the power of this final villain, a fusion would probably be necessary. It's already more than clear that there will be a fusion in Dragon Ball Daima. Otherwise, those bugs wouldn't have been added to the plot. We're still not sure who will fuse, but from a commercial perspective, it's almost certain that the fusion will be between Goku and Vegeta. Fans love seeing Goku and Vegeta fuse. It always generates a lot of hype when it happens, and I don't think the producers will miss the opportunity to make another fusion happen. What character would appear from this fusion? Well, we have three options. A completely original character, or one of the two we already know, Vegito or Gogeta. It makes sense for an original character to come from this fusion, given that it's a completely new method in the series. We have one character for the Metamoran fusion, one for the Potara fusion, and now it would make sense to have a character for the Join Bugs fusion. Having a new character would give Dragon Ball Daima a more original vibe, and if this character becomes popular, it would make the anime more memorable as the one that introduced another Goku and Vegeta fusion. The next option is Vegito. But would that make sense? Actually, it could. We found out in this anime that all Supreme Kais are Meijins, so it's not far-fetched to think that the Potara earrings they use carry Meijin magic, right? And what if the fusion magic in the Potara earrings is the same as that of the Join Bugs, just applied differently? That would make sense. The only problem with this is that Shin didn't know about the existence of these insects. But if we think about it, Shin is always poorly informed, so him not knowing something basic and important wouldn't be surprising. Another thing that could reinforce this hypothesis is that at the end of the anime, Shin and Kibito will have to fuse again, otherwise it would create a huge inconsistency with Dragon Ball Super. One way this could happen is if they use these insects for some reason or by accident. But it could also be justified that the fusion from the insects is harder to separate, which is why they didn't use Majin Buu again to split them apart. So these insects could have the same effect as the Potara fusion, and in that case, the fusion we'd see in Dragon Ball Daima would be Vegito. The third option is Gogeta. It's more than evident that Dragon Ball Daima draws heavy inspiration from Dragon Ball GT, and the fusion that appeared in GT was Gogeta. So they might want to make another reference to GT. The only problem with this is that Gogeta was the most recent fusion to appear, and bringing him back could feel repetitive. But of course, Dragon Ball doesn't shy away from repetition. In fact, the franchise thrives on repeating concepts and reusing ideas. Dragon Ball Daima itself is a big reuse of the Dragon Ball GT concept. And if this anime draws so much inspiration from Dragon Ball GT, there's something else that could happen in the anime's final stretch. The appearance of the fan favorite transformation, Super Saiyan 4. Everyone knows Super Saiyan 4 is one of the most beloved transformations, and it's probably the most desired non-canon transformation to become canon. So this could be the perfect opportunity. In Dragon Ball GT, we saw Gogeta using Super Saiyan 4, so maybe we'll see something similar in Daima. Many might argue it doesn't make sense for a Goku and Vegeta fusion in Dragon Ball Daima to use Super Saiyan 4 since they don't have that transformation. But we have to remember that Gotenks used Super Saiyan 3 even though Goten and Trunks didn't even know Super Saiyan 2. So it's possible for a Goku and Vegeta fusion in Daima to achieve Super Saiyan 4. And also, some might say it wouldn't align with Dragon Ball Super, as this transformation was neither used nor mentioned. But again, we must remember that the insects introduced in this anime offer a completely new form of fusion, meaning that the new warrior could have special traits, like a unique form. Additionally, since this fusion happens using resources from the demon realm, it's possible the new fusion could have Majin traits. So we could see, for instance, a demon Gogeta or a demon Vegito. That kind of visual would be insanely cool. Maybe that could justify bringing Super Saiyan 4, a demonic Saiyan form. Remember, the form doesn't have to be identical to what we saw in Dragon Ball GT. It could have differences, like pointed ears. Another reason why Gogeta or Vegito didn't use Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball Super could be the same reason Vegeta didn't use his new transformation shown in Daima. The transformation might be outdated. In Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta clearly surpassed the power of a Super Saiyan 3 with his Super Saiyan 2, so he didn't need Super Saiyan 3. Similarly, if Vegito and Gogeta had forms like Super Saiyan God or Blue available, there was no need for Super Saiyan 4. So there's definitely a justification for this form to appear without breaking continuity. Well, one thing is certain, a fusion of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta with Super Saiyan 3 Goku would undoubtedly create a warrior far beyond the Vegito who fought Majin Buu. I believe this fusion might even surpass the power of Super Saiyan God Goku from the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, meaning this warrior could already be at the level of the gods. Now, it's your turn to comment. What warrior will result from Goku and Vegeta's fusion in Dragon Ball Daima? Will it be Vegito, Gogeta, or an original character? Also, let us know if you think a version of Super Saiyan 4 could appear in Dragon Ball Daima and how its power would compare to the characters in Dragon Ball Super. While you're commenting, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a fellow Dragon Ball fan. If you want to support our work, click the link in the video description and the pinned comment to check out our Patreon. For a small amount, you can help us out a lot and get some exclusive benefits on the channel. A big hug to all of you, and see you in the next video.